Hey guys, it's your girl Shamar. Welcome back to the front line. I hope everybody's doing good, had a great week, um, and ultimately made it back to this platform safe and sound. Um, this week, guys, we're back, right? And we're going to keep on keeping on. We got to find out why Rachel's weeping, right, guys? Because it's her children that the house of Israel is coming from, right, guys? Didn't I prove that to y'all last week? I hope I did. I'm going to keep drumming that point home. Don't lose focus of who is Israel. I don't care how much noise you hear in the background. Don't lose focus because you want the inheritance of Israel, right, guys? Don't lose focus. It's Israel that has an inheritance. All right, guys? Any tribe that steps outside of that, that's their business. And you lose your inheritance. You understand what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm still trying to prove that this tribe even has a part in that inheritance because everything I'm seeing is tying back to Joseph and Ephraim. All right, guys, so I'm not going to waste my time too much with the house of Judah because I don't have an inheritance in the house of David. I have an inheritance with my Creator and His inheritance and her inheritance, right? Because we're made in the image, both male and female. So that inheritance is Israel's. I'm going over there, okay, guys? Because that's where the promise is. Judah ain't got no promise for me. What Judah got for me? Hmm? Bunch of cool drawings, some lions. What do Judah got for me? A few reggae songs. I mean, I don't, my loyalty is not with man, clearly. All right? My loyalty is to my Creator. And as a result of my loyalty to my Creator, I'm here with you guys. I wouldn't have it no other way. Thank y'all for being here with me. Now let's find out what the hell happened to us. I've been watching Naomi for a long time. That's who Mother sent me to. I go where I feel drawn to, and for whatever reason, Mother kept sending me over there, right? And Naomi has proven a lot to herself. She's been doing this for 15 years, right, guys? Um, I'm jumping on this bandwagon. And one of the things I heard Naomi say is that they came in through the men. They plotted to seduce the men. So I was like, well, I got to prove this to myself and prove this point, you know? And I was able to. Oh, I was able to, right? And I'm also able to prove some of the nonsense of Judah to find out why uh, Ezekiel's on his side for 40 days for the house of Judah, right? Yeah, it was 390 days for the house of Israel, but 40 for the house of Judah, right? Still trying to tie to what 40, because there's so many increments of 40. It's such a prominent number in the Torah that I got to kind of figure out and pinpoint what exactly did Judah do in that 40 years and, figure it out. But, and which specific 40 years the Creator's speaking on, right? All right. So, guys, let's go ahead and find out why Rachel is weeping. What happened, right? Because there was a promise that was supposed to come through Rachel to her kids, right? Um, Down through Sarah, right, guys? Because I pointed out to you guys that it's Sarah who's going to be blessed. All right, guys? It's in the Torah. I ain't making this stuff up. It's just for whatever reason people glossed over it or didn't absorb it the right way. I don't know, but I can read. And everybody that comes to this platform can read too. I got total confidence in y'all. I know y'all can read. All right? Y'all read this stuff. Y'all see it. Okay? So let's keep reading, finding what's in there. All right, guys? Let's find out how. Shout out to Naomi. She said this happened, and I proved it. I proved it. All right? So we don't steal. Naomi said this first. I went on a mission to try to find this, right? So in our last episode, we talked about how the Creator said, do not give your wives to other nations. I mean, your wives. Uh, don't give your daughters to, please don't give your wives to other nations, right? But don't give your daughters or your sons to these people, right, guys? We see the Hittite set in it, okay, but we don't believe our eyes, all right? We see the Hittite told to us, all right? But everybody want to glorify David. Nah, I want to glorify my creator, okay? My creator said don't do it, all right? So how Bathsheba comes to sit on the throne later on with her son Solomon, completely beyond me. But that happened, guys, because we let a man lead us. Or any person. Could have been a woman. She was a woman too. My point is you let somebody other than the creator lead you. If some point you hear me say something that ain't jiving with this Torah, that's why you got to read this Torah. You hear me say something that ain't jiving with this Torah, it's trying to break out. Got to go. Got to go. Right, guys? Because you're not supposed to be blindly following anybody. Okay, guys? I tell you something, you're supposed to go back and check it out. You know, I make mistakes all the time. Hey, Shamar, you made a mistake here. I heard you say this, but you meant to say that. Like last week, I said something about uh, Ephraim and Benjamin went into Assyrian captivity. That was that, but I said it because it was in the article, guys. It's a cover up, a major cover up, y'all, where they keep trying to make you think that Judah is Israel. All right, but the Torah ain't trying to make us think that. The Torah is straight telling us Judah and Israel. I'm following Israel, guys, because that's what my inheritance is and that's what my promise is. Everybody's free to follow whoever they want to. You know, you want to glorify queens from the house of Judah. You want to glorify kings from the house of Judah. Knock yourself out. I'll be right on over here glorifying my Creator. Okay, Creator said those are that when the Creator returns, the carcasses of those kings. You know what I'm saying? Is yeah, carcasses. I showed y'all that carcass is not a flattering word when it comes to a dead body. All right. And that came out from the creator. The creator called the kings carcasses. So that's where I'm at with kings. All right, guys. All right. So moving along, we're going to get to Balaam. All right. And the reason why I want to bring Balaam in is because Balaam was the downfall of Israel, right? What happened there was the downfall of Israel. Okay. And I'm going to prove this to y'all. And it was a specific nation that was specifically trying to attack Israel. And this was the nation of Moab. Okay? Why is Moab important? I told y'all this a few weeks ago. Ruth is from Moab. And as we get along, I'm going to show you what the Creator feels about Moab. All right? Because the Creator says right here something about Moab. Right? So how we got this book of Ruth is completely beyond me. Okay? But I'm using my brain here. That ain't my book. I don't give a damn who put it in there. Okay? The fish hat priest, Levi, Moses. I don't care who put that in that book, man. My brain works. And my brain tells me that Ruth is a Moabitess. She's from another nation. Okay, so I'm not listening to that. I don't give a damn who the hell she tried to choose. The Creator didn't choose her. The Creator chose Israel. Creator ain't choose Moab. Matter of fact, he said to utterly destroy and smite Moab. So I don't want to hear what the book of Ruth got to tell me. And I damn sure don't want to hear what the book of Esther got to tell me when right here in Deuteronomy 7, my Creator told me, don't give my kid, my daughter or my son to another nation. My Creator told me, don't make a covenant with them. If I'm only one person that stands and obeys that commandment from my Creator, I'm fine with that. Then I'll be that one person that gets that inheritance. But this is my stance, guys. I reject the book of Esther. I reject the book of Ruth. I reject Judah. I stand with Israel. I'm in Israel's tent, not David's. Let me be clear. That's where my Creator is. That's where I'm at. I owe no loyalty to nobody on this earth. My loyalty is to my Creator. I hope you take the similar stance, guys, and you see this 3-card Monty they trying to pull on your asses, because I see it. I just been trying to figure out how to show y'all this, because if you see the level of deceit pulled by the powers that be, and if I prove to you that Moses is linked to the Holy Roman Emperor, then we know who pulled this stunt. Everything is, guys. When I we ain't even talked about the Assyrian captivity. We talk about the Babylonian, right? Because that's all anybody ever talk about, right? But that's not what wiped out Israel. It was the Assyrian captivity. We're going to get into that. It what Judah went through in Babylon pales in comparison to what Israel suffered in Assyria. When I share with you the horrors that took place in Assyria, you'll understand what happened to you. You'll know how you got where you're at. Because I know how I got where I'm at. And I'm heartbroken. I am in pain every day that I think about how I got here. I'm thankful to my Creator because somewhere in my line, someone did something honorable, is all I can imagine. To allow the Creator to show mercy on my generation is all I feel like that I've just been gifted. I ain't nobody special. This is a gift, and I recognize it. And I can't think of anything I personally have done to deserve being able to open this book and see what I'm seeing and bring it to y'all and share it with y'all. But I'm appreciative because, like I said, if I'm the only person standing on that line, I'm cool. The book don't tell me that I'm gonna wind up being the only person standing on the line, but that's just my stance, guys. I think y'all will be there with me. Come on, y'all. We're gonna be on the front line. A lot of times we talk about what's coming, but we don't talk about like the negative, right? We don't talk about the positive, right, guys? This kingdom, man, this kingdom is going to free us. And it's going to be ours. That is our inheritance. It's just going to be amazing, y'all. As the weeks come, we'll share more and more about what that kingdom is going to look like. I've read passages that if homage is not paid to that kingdom, it's not even going to rain on some nations, y'all. You don't know what's coming. It ain't doom and gloom for us on the front line because we're interpreting this Torah correctly, guys. I got people that message me daily that are getting their own interpretation, and it's just adding collectively. Shout out to Mimi. Mimi sent me some. We got on a phone call a week or two ago, and we were talking about the allegory, guys, the animal allegory. She see it. She see it. When you call a woman a fat cow or you heifer, man, listen, y'all don't even know what they did in this book. I ain't even got to that yet. I can't. Every week I'm blown back, pushed back, and this ain't a bad thing. But this right here is is what I'm doing every week. It's like I'm acquiring more and more and more information, and I just can't get to it all. But I know this has to be done in an order. So before I can get the cows and lions and tigers and bears, I got to get to Israel first. Even I had to recognize that Israel is Israel, and that's it. All right, guys, y'all was on the show with me when I was having that. Listen, a lot of times I'm on the show with y'all when I'm having these revelations, guys. Remember the serpent, guys. Remember I realized that Eve was never punished, guys. Right? It wasn't a punishment, and that she's not blamed for anything. There was a couple of revelations that I've had in the show with you guys, and I like when that happens. And one of them was this thing with Judah. All right, guys, I kept saying, well, wait a minute. Why does the Creator keep? There's a whole lot of tribes, but, The Creator just keeps saying Judah outside of Israel. Like, why is that happening? And I don't know. That was probably about 2, 3 weeks ago, guys. And then I just decided I didn't decide nothing. Let me take that shit back. Mother kept nagging at me and nagging at me like, you really need to figure out why is the Creator keep saying Judah separately, like, you know. And once I get into that mode, and I really sit down and I really allow myself to be opened up to the guidance that our mother is ready to provide me with, it'll happen. It'll happen, and she will mercifully, thankfully, reveal it to me because then I'm no longer stumped. You know, I heard Naomi say, you know, the key is to ask the right questions. So I guess, guys, I've been asking the right questions. Is all I can think of, you know. And sometimes y'all are on the ride with me when I'm asking this question, and y'all were on the ride with me when we were asking about Judah. All right, so now we have a better understanding collectively. I didn't have one prior to that either, guys. So I'm climbing with y'all, but I can read. All right, guys. So I might be climbing, and I might not be no 15-year veteran. This ain't no dig at nobody. That's a shout out to Ruth. I mean, to Naomi for all her work. You know, I'm definitely not a 15-year veteran, but I know I'm seeing what I'm seeing. You know, I have yet for anyone to message me and say that's not what I'm getting from it, or you know, that's crazy what you're saying. I haven't gotten any messages like this, guys. I'm prepared for them if they should show up, but I haven't gotten anything like that. You know, I feel like a lot of times because I'm in this Torah, it's kind of irrefutable. It's right there. I'm not mincing words. I'm not speaking metaphorically. We ain't reading this thing out of context. We right here together, guys, word for word. Sometimes even digging deeper, right? Going into the etymology, going into the Strong's Concordance. So I haven't gotten that yet, you know. Am I perfect? Am I saying that it'll never come? I'm not saying that. But I know um, it hasn't happened yet. Okay, guys. So before I keep going off on a tangent and, you know, y'all know I can get off track, I want us to get back to this Bala Peor thing because we got to get to Ruth, the good old Moabitess Ruth. All right, guys. Like I told you, where there's trouble, I used to say where there's some funny stuff going on, you're gonna see something I used to say as it relates to Adam. If y'all remember, let me know. But I used to always say that where there's problems, you're gonna see this. But listen, where there's problems, this is my new one. You're gonna see Judah. Okay, where there's problems, you're gonna see Judah. All right, smoking guns everywhere. I just need to dig and find out the guy Boaz, what tribe he's from. I don't know who Ruth married into, but we know what the story of Esther, that's Judah. We know what the story of Bathsheba. I can't remember what tribe specifically Bathsheba's from, but David's from Judah. So there's mess. Whenever there's mess, there's Judah. So now we know why the Creator keeps saying Judah, Judah, Judah outside of Israel. Why would He even allow Judah into the umbrella of Israel if they're committing all these sins, specifically against the covenant? So come on, man. Anybody that's over here rooting and tooting for any of these players from the house of Judah, then listen, you with the house of Judah. Wait for your inheritance. As for me, I'm in the house of Israel. I'm obedient to my Creator. And I'm going to show my people how we got here. Choices we made. Everybody has a choice to make. Today, yeah, we're going to talk a lot about what the men did. But ladies, don't gloat, because at some point, we got to talk about what you did. Both of us played a part in this, the masculine and the feminine. We both did, because the masculine went after other nations. The feminine of Israel, we worship Baal, guys. If we had a house bonder, we put someone. We definitely broke the first commandment to not put anyone before our Creator, right? Because we made a covenant with someone according to the way they do it in this country. Israel wasn't doing this like this before. We weren't, quote, getting married, going down to the justice of the peace, taking some, I don't even know if, I highly doubt we were taking the men's names. We see that in the patrimonial. If you go to ancestries, you're going to see that. But I don't believe that's how we were doing it before. That's my own personal belief. All right? Told you. When we get back our books, we going to see. Watch, I'm telling y'all something. We're going to see. This thing going to reveal itself. It's just, it cannot be contained. This is just too much info. I'm finding everything linked to the feminine. Okay? The Torah, the land, the inheritance, the stones, guys. Man, listen, you can't hold this back if you wanted to. All right? So, ladies, we are at the feet of an idol. Okay, potentially. I mean, it depends. If you've got a really understanding, quote, husband that is seeing this with you, then you probably aren't at his feet. He's waiting for this thing to happen right with you. And shout out to those men. All right, guys. But today, those aren't the men we're going to talk about. And at some point, we will get to the ladies and how they contributed to this thing being ongoing. It's been 390 years of this, guys. Okay. So Balaam was an isolated incident, that definitely led to those Barbies coming in and taking over. Okay. Those foreign women. All right, guys. So let's get to it. All right. So I got an article here. It's called Balak. Let's get to it, guys. I've been rambling on. I missed the other screensaver because it at least would tell me the countdown as to how long I'm taking this. So I'm going to try to be, considerate. All right. It's called Balak, the Council of Balaam. All right. This is this guy I keep telling y'all about, right? So let's get to the story. Balaam, asked by the king of Moab to curse Israel, finds himself in an interesting predicament. The king of Moab asks him to curse Israel, but Balaam is only able to say what God tells him to. After all is said and done, Balaam was not able to curse Israel and collect the reward for doing so. But this is not the last we hear of him. Moab, scroll up some, guys, right here. Moab and Midian. Who's Midian, guys? Abraham's seed, one of those 12 sons of Abraham. So let's keep going. And Moab is the product of the incestuous relationship between the two daughters and their dad. So we know Moab is just, okay, so she's coming from that. Some incestuous relationship, okay? But we got her in our book. Let's keep going. And we ain't got the brain enough to say, who the hell put this book in here? Moab and Midian see that the people of Israel are powerful and that God is with them. See, that's why I'm with Israel, because see, God is with Israel. Knowing what has happened to Israel's enemies and fearing that they will be next, they hire a man named Balaam, who was apparently some sort of well-known mystic in the area. They offer to reward him richly if he will come and curse the people of Israel so that they will be defeated. The Lord appears to Balaam in a dream, telling him not to go. He then tells the messenger this, who are sent back to Balaam once again with the offer of even more riches. Again, God appears to Balaam and says, if the men have come to call you, rise up and go with them. But only the word which I speak to you shall you do. So the Creator's telling them, if they come back, you got to go with them, but you're going to only say to them what I tell you to say. All right, we're right here. All right, and you can find this story right here in Numbers 22 and 20. All right. Apparently, Balaam's heart is not right in this endeavor, for an angel is sent to destroy him. Heeding this warning, Balaam informs the king of Moab that he can only speak what God tells him to. All right. Balaam proceeds to utter, we're right here, several prophecies proclaiming blessings upon Israel. All right. So he'd been called to curse them, but instead he figuratively, more, they said they came here from milk and honey, right? So more milk and honey for Israel. He's just throwing out blessings instead, right? It seems as if Balaam will not receive any reward from Balak in this manner. And he almost seems as if he's not such a bad guy after all. But even though he was not able to curse Israel, and in fact spoke blessings upon them, to his own financial disadvantage, Balaam is still depicted as an evil person in Scripture. All references to him in the New Testament are negative, and in Jewish literature, he's also portrayed as an enemy. Why is this? All right. Directly following the account of Balaam, Numbers 25, which we're going to get into that next, guys, begins by saying that the children of Israel at that place were enticed by the daughters of Moab and committed acts of adultery. See, here's where I have a problem. It's saying here that the children, right, uh, of Israel. Well, I guess it could have been the children. This could have been some lesbian affairs, but it says the daughters of Moab were involved, not the sons. So, I'm here thinking that this had to have been the daughters with the men, you know, right? All right, let's keep going. Maybe there was some lesbians amongst that, or some non-traditional relationships, right? That they could have been speaking of. True, because it's daughters. It doesn't mean that they were specifically just sleeping with the men. But let's see what the Torah got to say about this. All right. Uh, it says that they were enticed by the daughters of Moab and committed acts of idolatry. Hold on, they were enticed by the daughters and went right to idol worship. All right. Many have linked these two passages together, claiming that Balaam, even though he was not able to curse the people himself, was still eager in his heart to get a reward. It says here that Rabbi Jedediah said, "The counsel of the wicked is far from me," in Job 21:16. This refers to the counsel of Balaam. Right. Job is saying that he don't keep the counsel of the wicked near him. That was true. I do remember reading that in the passage of Job. So in the next sentence, it says that this refers to the counsel of Balaam, the wicked, who advised Midian. And they fell of Israel 24,000 men. So this man, Balaam, gave that king advice, right? And as a result, right, there fell of Israel 24,000 men. So no, the daughters, this was the men. This was the men. It's not saying that there was any, this didn't say 24,000 children fell. This says 24,000 men fell. All right, guys? Let's see how that happened. Next sentence. He said to them, "You will not be able to prevail against this people unless they have sinned before the Creator." See, we walked away from this covenant. Men, because this is a situation involving the men. So this one is specific to the men. Later on, guys, though, the ladies walk away too. Oh, we all play a role in this now. Don't get me wrong. Let's keep going. They made for themselves booths outside the camp of Israel. And they sold we're right here, outside the camp of Israel, right? And they sold all kinds of merchandise of the market. The young men of Israel went beyond the camp of Israel, and they saw the daughters of Midian, right? Who had painted their eyes like harlots, and they took wives of them and went astray after them. As it is said, and the people began to commit whoredom with the daughters of Moab. This is how, after we are rescued by the Creator from Egypt, this is how we walk away from our covenant. Very immediately, right? We already done made the golden calf, right? I got an episode about that, guys. Y'all should look into that. You should go back and watch the golden calf CRISPR. You should watch Is Baal in Your Home? You should watch Noah, a Husbandman, because I cover all of that first sin that Israel committed, right? When they were only given the 10 Commandments, right? I covered that first sin, right? So they didn't quite understand the Ten Commandments. So the Creator comes back later, I guess, or is still kind of digging in deeper and saying, listen, this is what I need from y'all. Don't be marrying these girls of other nations, and don't be giving your sons and your daughters away to them. And what do we see in these books? This the exact thing the Creator said, don't do. And we looking up to these books? Creator just said, don't do these things. Book is trash. Gotta go. The book is starting with the Creator right here saying that we're not supposed to do these things. So both of these ladies got a festival. Esther's got Purim, and what did Ruth got? Shabbat. Some crazy. Listen, Creator said he's tired of your fest, tired of your incense. What Mama say? She's tired of all of this mess. Let's keep going. All right. So the zeal, it says so right here in Numbers 25 and 1, they refer to this as the zeal of Phineas. And I got that pulled up for y'all next, because we're going to cover what Phineas did. All right? Because you better get ready to pop off like Phineas did, because Phineas is remembered to generations. So I wonder, maybe I'm in Phineas line. Hopefully. Well, might be a better line. But anyway, okay, Phineas is remembered for what Phineas did. And we're going to cover that next. Let's keep going. In other words, this and other literature claim that right here, Balaam gave advice to Moab on how to circumvent the blessings that he'd uttered by causing the Israelites to fall into sin, thus bringing judgment upon themselves. All right. So he flipped it on the Israelites. He couldn't go in and curse the Israelites because they were blessed. So you can't you can't curse what's blessed. All right. That's just the way it goes. So he had to find a way for Israel to sin on their own. Kind of like, what's that movie? The Trojan Horse, or that book we had to read in school. Like, they couldn't penetrate that wall, so they had to find a way to let them get them in, right? Same example. All right, so let's keep going. Balaam is used as an example in the New Testament. We're right here of being eager for dishonest wealth. But these men revile the things which they do not understand, and the things which they know by instinct, like unreasoning animals. By these things they are destroyed. Woe to them, for they have gone the way of Cain, and for pay they have rushed headlong into the era of Balaam, and punished in the rebellion of Korah. All right, they even bring Balaam into the hijack book, So let's go to, I'm going to take you guys now to what happened, right? So Balaam gets the men, that just gave us a nice brief overview, right? It's telling us they setting up booths. They're setting up camps outside of the camp of Israel to frolic with these women. Okay, this is what the men are doing. All right, y'all. Let me take you to Numbers 25, and we're going to check this out in the King James, right? And then I'm going to show y'all another version of it, right? We ain't got to dig too deep in it for me to get to the best part of the other version to show y'all why we got to get out of this book, because it's softening up stuff, it's adding stuff. It's just, and this is a good example for me to show y'all why I've been saying this, right? So I'm going to use the next text in Numbers 25, right? Because we got to talk about what Phineas did, right? Phineas obviously remembers, the Creator is like, do not give your wives away, and the way the Creator wants to see Israel behave, right? So let's get to Numbers 25. Oh, I got open the wrong one. I'm going to show y'all that one later, because I want to show y'all the difference in the text. I only got that one open. Well, you know what? Let's read it like that anyway. And then I'll give y'all some homework. Y'all can go to the KJV, because the KJV is going to give you a more gentle version, right? And I'll tell y'all when that happens. So let's read a little bit of Numbers 25. All right. And Israel at that time abode in Seton, and the people committed fornication with the daughters of Moab, who called them to their sacrifices, and they ate of them and adored their gods. And Israel was initiated. See, the KJV is going to have this as Bala pure, right? So Israel, but see, I like that word initiated. That's a really strange word to me. All right, we'll have to dig on that later. But this word in the KJV is going to be Balapeor, right? Upon which the Lord, being angry, said to Moses, take all the princes of the people and hang them up on gobbets against the sun, that my fury may be turned away from Israel. And Moses said to the judges of Israel, let every man kill his neighbor that have been initiated to Balapeor. And behold, one of the children of Israel went in before his brethren to a harlot of Midian. Remember, guys, side note, the girls are painting their eyes in the house of Midian, right? Who else is seen later on painting their eyes? The daughters of Zion, right? Because we're trying to keep up with these foreign women, right? These foreign women, let's just call it what it is, have attracted our men. And so as a result, we try to attract them similarly, right, guys? So we're painting our eyes too. That came from the Nephilim, remember? But we're doing it. All right, so I didn't mean to side note us, but when I saw Midian, it reminded me of that. So let's keep going. And behold, so we're in verse 6 right here. One of the children of Israel went into before his brethren to a harlot of Midian in the sight of Moses and all the children of Israel who were weeping before the door of the tabernacle. And when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose up from the midst of the multitude, and taking a dagger, went in after the Israelite into the brothel house, the whorehouse, and thrust both of them through together, to wit, the man and the woman in the genital parts. And the scourge ceased from the children of Israel. And there were slain 24,000 men. Men. Okay, guys. And the Lord said to Moses, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, have turned away my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was moved with my zeal against them, that I myself might not destroy the children of Israel in my zeal. Thank you, Phinehas, for that zeal. Let's keep going. Therefore say to him, behold, I give him the peace of my covenant, and the covenant of the priesthood forever shall be both to him and his seed, because he have been zealous for his God, and have made atonement for the wickedness of the children of Israel. And the name of the Israelite was slain with the woman of Midian was Zambri, the son of Salu, a prince, the kindred and tribe of Simeon. And the Midianite woman that was slain with him was called Cosbi, the daughter of Sur, a most noble prince among the Midianites, Abraham's sons. And the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, let the Midianite find you enemies, and slay you them, because they have also acted like enemies against you, and have guilefully deceived you by the idol Phagor, and Cosbi their sister, a daughter of a prince of Midian, who was slain in the day the plague, all right, for the sacrifice of Peor. This would happen, y'all. He went into the brothel house boldly in front of the whole tribe with this woman. Okay, guys? It says in front of all of Israel. So Phinehas went up in there and stabbed him in the genital parts. And it says, and then the scourge ceased from the children of Israel. Remember, guys, when we first went down the path of the serpent, and then we're going to close on this. Remember, I showed y'all that it was leading us down the path of venereal disease. Right, guys? That wasn't by accident. It was not by accident. Because it is linked to a venereal disease, guys. We're going to see later on in Leviticus that, yes, Moses is telling you, go outside the camp, and if I see this spot or if it's gone, you don't got it. That's not how viruses work. That's why herpes has been around for so long. Viruses don't work like that. Okay, granted, the Creator could heal some stuff, but the Creator said the herbs was here for us to heal ourselves and to treat ourselves with. So you would have seen some sort of direction of that even. Not let me go outside and let me see if the scab gone. What? Just because the scab gone don't mean it's gone. These diseases are older than you and I put together and our whole generation. Nothing about these diseases have changed. Okay? You do not get rid of an STD by waiting it out. We're not going to find that in any recommended form or fashion. Now, what I will tell you is that we are learning that there are things that Dr. Sebi, right, did to, quote, treat people that didn't rely on antivirals or antibacterials, because I think he recognized the parasite, well, living within mucus and things like that, as the epicenter of what was ailing a person. Okay, guys? So listen, guys, it is a reason this man stabbed these two through the genital parts and then the scourge stopped. Okay? And a reason why it is described as a plague. And we're going to get into that. We're going to keep on digging on this thing. We can't stop. Man, this is not by any means over. So we're going to get into the etymology of plague. We're going to go ahead and get into the Strong's Concordance as well. In the next coming week, we're going to start talking about Ruth. And here's what I'm going to tell y'all right now. I personally reject the book of Esther. I personally reject the book of Ruth. I personally reject anything to do with Bathsheba. So I'm not advising you to do anything. I'm going to give you the content to make an informed decision. You can reject whatever you so please. And you can keep whatever you want to keep in this book. If Esther makes you happy, then so be it. She don't make me happy because she didn't make the Creator happy when she disobeyed rule number 1 that the Creator was putting out, no covenants. So, all right, guys, that's just my stance. All right. Look, plague, a contagious bacterial disease. This is what they calling it, guys. We saw that the serpent and virus was, linked to a venereal disease. So I got my money on it starting here. All right, guys, and the Israelites had a problem with this when Moses came from up there getting the law from mother, and he came back down. They were naked. Okay, so you don't get naked for no reason. All right, they were naked. We've been having this problem in Israel. It's time to grow up and let's have some grown-up conversations here. All right, grown-up conversations. It's looking like we were supposed to stay in house, guys, and we get into that. I don't care about offending anybody because I told you my tent is in Israel and I love Israel. All right, guys, I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Thanks for viewing.